Movement Center, and Rainbow Services, LASA, and the Hilton Foundation. It really is a pleasure to welcome everybody to this summit today. This summit and the ongoing work, and I want to emphasize the ongoing work of the Domestic Violence Homeless Coalition, is designed to bring together what sometimes has been two disparate fields: domestic violence work and work regarding homelessness. And I guess the key theme for today is these can be disparate fields no more. We need to be finding ways to deepen our levels of collaboration. So that systems change theme is going to pervade the day. Why has that to happen? Well, first of all, none of us has the ability to work in isolation from each other. None of us has the resources to do that to succeed. And all of us recognize that of the maybe 35,000 homeless people in the streets of our city every day, nearly a third of them have, in some facet of their lives, at some moment of their lives, been touched by domestic violence. So that really escalates the urgency of what brings us all together today. So let's talk about what it means to really deepen collaborations and think in ways we haven't thought before about how to be innovative. I know in my own office, we prosecute, among other things. And one of the prosecutorial challenges we confronted in California is a change in law. Proposition 47 took effect. One of its major goals was to get people who are substance abusers the treatment they need to break that cycle of addiction. It hasn't achieved that. How do we grapple with that reality? Because all of us would like to see that happen. Well, our office decided to look at another set of issues related to homelessness. We mapped where the prevalent locations were in the city of Proposition 47 offenses. And then we put an overlay map of where there were concentrations of homeless people. And as a prosecutor's office, we took the unusual step of applying to the state for a grant to put mobile teams on the street of drug rehab experts, mental health experts, physical health interventionists, to intervene with individuals before they even touch the justice system in this mobile way, not just during regular business hours. It's a collaboration that is just emerging now. We're trying something very new. Eve mentioned our Prosecutors Against Gun Violence collaboration. As a state legislator, I used to note it was obvious to all of us how stunning it was that when each of us, for every bill we had before us, had a piece of paper from our caucuses, Democrat or Republican, indicating what the bill was, what it would do, who was for it, and who was against it. That Democrats were keyed into one set of groups, what maybe the Sierra Club might think of Planned Parenthood, and Republicans are focused on what the manufacturers might think, or the Chamber of Commerce might think. Everybody cared about what prosecutors thought. And yet we were combating gun violence. I recognize that throughout the nation, there was no coalition of prosecutors focused on how to prevent gun violence. And so we came together, East and West, our office and the Manhattan District Attorney. We created this national coalition of prosecutors, one of whose first efforts was to create a template with another organization on how to take guns out of the hands of domestic abusers here and throughout the United States. A whole new way of thinking, a whole new set of coalitions. How are we going to bring that intensity, that spirit of innovation, and that focus into our work here at this conference? Well, that's our challenge. So as each of us listens to what others are doing on the street, for example, to look at innovative housing models, as each of us looks at mobile services and how we might deal differently with training people to be in wholly different parts of the city than they're used to being in, as we deal with data in ways we haven't thought of before, how are we going to practically implement what we're learning today? I am a huge fan of innovation and a major opponent of talking for the sake of talking. The question is, for right now, in a region with unparalleled levels of homelessness and tons of money for the first time, with voters from the city and the county committing their wallets to alleviating homelessness, what are we practically speaking, tangibly, succeeding in doing on the street? The answer is not enough. And that pressing, urgent challenge is on my mind all the time. You might have seen recently, I've been asking for all of us to step out of our natural roles. In our city attorney's office, Guido Neal is here. She was in charge running with prosecutors. Without any new resources, we realigned our office, and Guido's now in charge of homeless issues. We have Gina DiDomenico in our office, who has a major challenge. She is creating these really innovative homeless citation clinics, where around our region, people are eradicating the fines and citations and warrants that are keeping them relegated to homelessness. But they have to perform community obligations in the very locations where the services for which they will benefit are being provided and their lives are being changed forever. I could go on with a number of new programs in our office. And of course, Eve's work on domestic violence, leading not only in our office, but in our region. The question is, for each of us, are we content to have a conference where we learn a little bit and keep doing things the way we used to be doing? Or are we going to awaken in the next days and weeks and say, we can do things in a wholly different way? And I'm impatient as heck. What can we do that is so different today that in a month or 2 or 3 from now will actually take people who are homeless and change their lives? Not talk about it anymore. That, to me, is the essence of what leadership is needing to be right now here in Los Angeles. If you can provide that leadership, thank you for what you do every day, but more importantly, for what I'm sure you're going to do tomorrow.